This guy is screaming, and it's the guy that used to be my workout partner. Get it out! Get it out! And he's a screaming, and almost, you can tell he's in pain.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
Hello everybody, Harvey Talks Prison. Everybody, not everybody, but some people wanted me to talk more about South Central Correctional Center, and I think it's time to give an update on it anyway, because it just keeps getting worse and worse. But I'm going to give you a little backstory first. They sent a bunch of us there in 2003 because they raised the custody level on it. They had to get the 3s and 4s out of there. They was forced to. So they made a bunch of people level 5s and sent us there. Raised our level for no reason, and except to fill that prison. So when we got there, it was a pretty easy, laid back prison, you know, and they were still getting 4s and stuff out, but it just got worse over time, you know. I mean, they started bringing in other people, and it just got worse. And that's the only way I can describe it, you know. You got to realize too that the COs there were all most of them were either related or friends. So if you got a write-up, he's going to be found guilty. They all had one another's back. It didn't matter if you was innocent of it, the write-up or not. You're going to be found guilty. I liked it because it wasn't far from home, and I ended up getting a recreation job. So I was out all day long. But they started by, first they put a fence around each of the housing units. Then they started only letting us a couple housing units out at a time. And, you know, as the violence got more and more, I'm going to tell you a couple stories. One, I had a workout partner that went to the hole. He was a little short guy, but he was stocky, you know. And one day we're on the yard, he's in the hole. To go from the hole to medical, you gotta go past the yard, you know, and the yard had like a fence around it. We seen medical go down there. So we're wondering what happened, and we kind of go over to, a lot of us was walking the tracks. I was walking the track at the time, but we seen him bring out this guy on a stretcher. And they put him on this cart, and it's like a golf cart almost like thing. So I go over there to see if I knew who it was, you know. This guy is screaming, and it's the guy that used to be my workout partner. Get it out! Get it out! And he's a screaming, and almost, you can tell he's in pain. And we're like, what the? And I don't know if it's true, because I never did see him again. I don't know what happened to him. But everybody's saying that his cellie did something bad to him down there, you know. And that's just terrible, but I never will forget his screams. Then, of course, there was, I told you about the story about the guy who, his sister had been you know, the big R on her. And they put the guy in the same prison as her brother. And he took care of him on the yard. That is understandable. Then there was the chomo that got deleted in the gym. But after I get out, you know, I still have friends there, and I stay in contact with them, and they tell me over time it just got worse. A couple years ago, and it's still going on. But I don't know if I can say the name of this, but they had a big F problem being brought into the prison. The one that is very dangerous. Only way it could be brought in really now is by staff, because visitors got to go through this thing that can see inside the body and all this stuff. You know, it's almost like an x-ray like thing. There's no paper mail no more. It's all emails. So pretty much the only way is staff. But there was people going left and right. A friend of mine there says they're dropping like flies. And the prison was saying, on the news for a while, unknown causes, natural causes, this and that. And sometimes they'd say it was because of overdoses. They're pretty much lying, and they still are. You know, it's worse than what they're saying. I was talking to my buddy one day on the phone, and he says, man, it's getting almost like MSP. Now, MSP was bad. It was probably the most violent prison in Missouri, and it closed down in 2004. And he and I both did time there when we first got to prison. He said it's getting almost like the walls. That's what we called the place. We called it the walls. And I said, really? He goes, yeah, except, you know, at the walls there was some order to it. You know, when people got shanked or whatever, there was a reason for it. He said, now there's no rhyme or reason, man. And I said, well, what's causing all of this? And he goes, there's a number of things. He said, first of all, in 2018, they took the tobacco out of the prisons. He goes, a lot of COs quit. He said, so they're understaffed. And he goes, it's like that all across Missouri, you know. And he's right about that. Missouri is way understaffed. He said, so that causes more violence. He said, you know, the good old boys around here, staff members, he goes, they can't even chew tobacco. He goes, it applies to staff too, you know. They can't chew tobacco, they can't smoke, none of this, so a lot of them quit. He goes, he's kind of made a joke. He goes, you grew up not far from here. You know these good old boys. They always have a big chaw in their mouth. And he's right, you know. I remember when I first got there, I was going to medical and had to pass a bunch of COs. And there was this one, he's a typical guy that you see, you know, when you think of people from the country, you know. And he's saying, I don't care if they're level 5s or not. They're just inmates. Spit. And I said, hey, man, I was just trying to let him know, you know, you better watch your tone, man. You know, you're not dealing with level 3s and 4s no more. He goes, you better keep a walking, inmate. I said, well, don't say I didn't warn you. And he ended up getting it later on. You know, it wasn't like a shanking or anything. It was somebody attacked him. But good old boy mentality. Everybody in there is related, you know. Everybody's friends, you know. They go hunting and fishing on the weekends and stuff like that, you know. Yeah, I can make fun of them because I grew up among those people, you know. People like that, you know. They're mostly good people, but, you know, when they become COs, they have this attitude that, hey, they're just inmates, you know. Heck with them. There's one guy that got, this is right before I got out. He tells this female CO, he goes, you know anything about real estate? And she goes, what? What does that have to do with anything? He goes, I'm just asking, do you know anything about real estate? She goes, well, maybe a little. And he grabs his 3-piece and says, well, tell me if this is a lot. Well, he starts laughing and everything, and she's trying to cuff him, and another CO comes in, and they cuff him and take him to the hole. And I heard that those good old boys, I don't know if this is for sure, this is hearsay, give him a beating down there in the hole. Wouldn't surprise me if they did, but like I said, I don't know if that's true or not, because it's just what you hear, you know. But he said one of the reasons, you know, the tobacco thing, they take the tobacco out, a lot of them quit, and some violence went. He said, but another reason it's gotten bad, there's like a different caliber of people coming in, young guys, feeling they have to prove themselves, that they got an attitude, and so they're fighting older guys that's been in a while, and they're fighting staff and everything, you know, just to prove that they're, in his words, prove that, you know, they're somebody. I said, man, that's crazy. And he goes, and it's true. Just recently I talked to him, and he said because of all the things that's happened with the contraband drugs being brought in and stuff, the F being brought in. He said now they're doing 15 urine drops a day on people. But this place, it's gotten bad, people, and it's just getting worse, you know. And there's good people in there, but there's a lot. It's changed in the 7 years I've been out. It's changed completely. I said, well, there's still people besides you that I know there, and he goes, yeah, but he said, a lot of the COs knew. He said you wouldn't recognize any of the other prisoners. He said except maybe a few. He said it's completely changed. And he goes, they changed the way they do things. He said the rules have changed and everything. He goes, they keep trying to make more and more rules to cut down the violence. And he said it just gets worse. So anyway, that's all I got for you. And you know, everybody wanted me to give, people wanted me to give an update on this, so I did. But I'll let you all know if there's any other news, make shorts or whatever, videos about it, and let me know if you want any more stories from South Central Correctional Center in a town called Licking, Missouri.